So, tariffs.
Oh, my bad. The Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 full? I don't know what full is. $200! $199.99! A controller is $200!
I know that a lot of people are crunching for cash right now due to both the tariffs and also inflation. So honestly, the last thing people need right now is more expensive cars than they already are, given that the average sale price for a brand new car is around $50,000. I think it's especially concerning given that we are living in a vehicle dependent country. Specifically, I guess, in my state, being a big oil state, Texas. Very, very vehicle dependent, very big state. We're like 3 countries combined. So you need a car to get from point A to point B. And a car here isn't necessarily a want, it's a need. And people need a car to get around. So for this video, I've handpicked 5 brand new cars that you can purchase that are tariff proof and also pretty affordable. And I say tariff proof just because, let's be honest, a lot of the changes that's been going on, our administration is just flip-flopping back and forth, and it's very, very uncertain what's going to be taking place next. And what's actually going on is big companies are also taking advantage of consumers by upping their prices on goods before the prices even officially increase. So it's just a wild world that we're living in right now. But anyway, for the 5 cars in this video, I've picked out some facts for each specific car that would help you ultimately make a decision on whether or not this would be a good car for you or not. But first, before we get into that, my name is John with Blackbird Productions, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I create videos like this every month, and I also create car reviews every month. I am still working on the car review from last month, and I apologize in advance just because the weather just has not been very good here in Texas. It is storm season, so we get a chance for rain pretty much like every day. And it's very rare that we get a string of good days. So I've been having some issues with filming and scheduling due to the storm season here. So if you're still waiting on that, thank you so much for just being patient with me. And I guarantee you, you definitely don't want to miss that car review. And I plan to have it out by this month. I say plan, but honestly, we'll just see what the weather says about that. But anyway, aside from that, I also create other cool content centered around cars. So if you enjoy my content and you want to see more, definitely consider subscribing and also leaving a like on this video. Definitely would appreciate it. Now let's get into today's video. First up, and if you've been with the channel for some time now, then you probably already know what the first car is going to be on this list, and it's the most obvious option. It is the Model 3 and also the Model Y, specifically the new Model Y refresh. Both are made in the US, with the Model 3 assembled in Fremont, California, and the Model Y assembled in Austin, Texas. The Model 3 starts at $39,800, so we'll just round that up to $40,000 with an EV tax credit and taxes and fees included. Right now, they're running a promotion for 0% APR as of May 2025, which you'll hear me say that a lot just because, again, like I said towards the beginning of the video, a lot of things are changing very, very quickly. And I know Tesla specifically, they like to rotate through promotions, it seems like every month. So this promotion may not be available, like for example, in June or July. There might be some other promotions. So as of May, you can get this car 0% APR. And honestly, I can't recall exactly how many months, so you'll have to kind of do your own research there, but you can get this car 0% APR as of May 2025. 3 trims: rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and performance. All are long-range models, with the exception of the performance model, of course. Another thing I have here is that they just introduced their new silver color. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like Quicksilver or something like that. But it looks very, very cool. And it gives the car a very minimal, and I say that with a chuckle just because the car is already very, very minimal. And it's a very, very tidy package as well. But if you are into just gray colors and muted colors, this color definitely looks very striking on this car. In terms of just power figures, you're getting 336 miles of range with the Model 3 and 4.9 0 to 60 time, which is definitely no slouch. Honestly, it's enough power for most people. And you can definitely beat out the EcoBoost at a stoplight if need be. Or maybe like the local Civic Type R or something like that. The last thing about the Model 3 is I actually have a referral link in the description, and you can use it for 3 months of free full self-driving. So if you are interested in purchasing a Model 3 or Model Y, because this link does work for that too. You can use my link in the description for that, and you'll get free full self-driving for 3 months. And speaking of the Model Y refresh, it starts at $46,700, so we'll round that to $47,000 with an EV tax credit and taxes and fees included. Right now, they're running a promotion for 1.99% APR, so we'll just round that to 2%. And again, this is as of May 2025. One trim for now, and I'm definitely interested to see what they do with the performance model. My guess is that they're gonna keep it very, very streamlined and close to what they did with the Model 3 performance, just add like a couple of carbon fiber bits, add some special seats, stuff like that. But I don't know, they could completely throw us for a loop like they did with the design of this car. And speaking of which, at first I wasn't really a huge fan of the design. I don't really think I'm still a fan of the design, but this car looks its best in black or white, in my opinion, which I already see the comments. Those are boring colors, which yes, they are, but I feel like the front light bar situation blends in better with those colors specifically. In terms of power, you're getting 327 miles of range on a single charge and a 4.2 0 to 60, which is faster than a Model 3. I did not know that. And when I was doing research for this video, I was just like awestruck by that, because I'm thinking like, man, the Model Y is a larger car and it's a taller car. So I'm thinking, how in the world did they make it quicker than the new Model 3? My guess is maybe less sound deadening material or something like that. I have no idea where they were able to shear weight off to get that 0 to 60 time, but nonetheless, pretty impressive. The next car on our list, or should I say truck, is the 2025 Toyota Tundra. Starts at $40,000 without taxes or fees, and Toyota's running a couple of promotions on this truck. First one is $3,000 cash back. The second one is 2.99% APR on financing. And then the other one is the release deal, which I like the best. They're asking $489 a month for 36 months with a $5,000 down payment. They also offer various rebates, which a lot of these are pretty standard for just automotive companies in general to offer. But if you're interested, they offer a $500 military discount, and they also offer a college rebate as well for $500. All of these promotions end June 2nd of this year, 2025. So if you want this truck, I would have bought it yesterday, honestly. I'm sure after promotional period, they might refresh it with brand new promotions, depending, I guess, on how the economic conditions are, at least for the US. So we'll see. 10 different trims, and honestly, way too many to cover in this video alone. So instead of just talking about each individual trim, let's just talk about the general specs of this car. Ultimately, you're getting a very, very solid looking truck, and it's also paired with the reliability of owning a Toyota, because I mean, we all know, and if you don't already, Toyotas are pretty reliable, and the Tundra is definitely no exception. It comes paired with a twin turbo V6 and a tasteful coil spring suspension, making for a smooth ride and added stability for towing and hauling, as well as handling, of course. Inside the Tundra, you're getting a monstrous 14.1-inch touchscreen for the infotainment. And I've seen this in all of the promotional and marketing material. Honestly, it's a little bit too big for my taste, just because it almost looks like it's too big. But with trucks, everyone likes it bigger. So you're definitely getting that in this truck. And I know specifically in Texas, people love big trucks. So go big or go home, as they say. But I digress. Anyway, if you care, the base model gets 18 city and 23 highway in terms of just the mileage per gallon, which isn't too bad for a truck, honestly. Next is the Ford Mustang, which in my opinion is the best muscle car to own, and a very, very cool at that muscle car to own, especially the newer ones. Very, very cool looking cars. But anyway, they are made in Flat Rock, Michigan, and Ford's domestic production and part sourcing make it less accessible for tariffs. So Ford has that going for them, just being an American primarily manufacturer of cars. Base model EcoBoost starts at 3.9K, so we'll just round that to 32K, without tax or fees, because I couldn't find those. But honestly, none of that really matters, because I already know what you guys are about to say in the comments. Why would you buy the EcoBoost? I want a V8, and don't worry, I got you covered. That one starts at $46,000 without tax or fees, again, because I couldn't find them. And from what I found, there aren't any promotions on the Ford Mustang right now, just because it's probably one of their most popular cars. Well, I know for sure it's one of their more popular cars, just because I see them all the time. So my suspicion is that they very rarely run promotions on this car. but you do get the standard like military first responder discount sort of thing. They didn't explicitly say what the discount was in the promotional material, at least like from the surface level. So definitely, if you are one of those folks and you're applicable to fall into that promotion, definitely check it out. I'm sure it's something worth looking at. 10 different trims, of course, because Ford loves their trims. I know for a fact, because this isn't the only vehicle that has more than 5 or 6 trims on their site. And again, way too many trims to cover in a single video, but if you want me to cover this car more in detail, or better yet, if you want me to review one, let me know in the comments below. So although we won't have enough time to talk about trims, I will talk about what I would personally opt for. And personally, I would go with the base model GT. I think that's enough for pretty much anyone. And I guess I could say, let's just add an asterisk on that, just because I know they also have a GT Premium as well. And usually that one comes paired with more better materials. So for example, leather seats. I know there's also a premium audio option as well with that one. And personally, that would be the one that I would get. But I feel like for most people, the base model GT with the 6-speed manual, of course, and also the 5.0 tried and true V8 is the one to get. By the way, it makes 480 horsepower. Not faster than my Tesla though. But tuned, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. As far as mileage goes with this car, you don't care. And if you did, you're lying to yourself and you need help. Last car on the list is the Kia K4. And I've been seeing this car quite a lot lately. It's a very, very popular car from Kia, and it's actually the cheapest one on this list. Now, in terms of why it's on this list, I'm going to be talking about that towards the end of just, talking about the facts of this car, just because I want to put that at the forefront before I talk about that. It'll make sense, I promise. But anyway, we're talking about specifically the 2024, I guess, /2025 K4, just because there hasn't been really any changes for the 2025 model year. However, they did introduce, I guess you would call it a hot hatch or wagon version of this car, which I think might be coming to North America. Not too sure about that, but it looks very, very cool. It's supposed to be coming out in 2026. But anyway, this car starts at a whopping $21,000. And honestly, one of the reasons why I put it in this list is just because it's so affordable. And at this price, you can't really find anything this head turning and honestly this stylish. They also have some very, very, very juicy lease deals for this car. And personally, that's what I would recommend, just because the lease deals are just way too good to pass up. Their lowest cost deal right now is running at $229 a month for a brand new car. Insane. That deal is for 36 months, and you also have to obviously pay a down payment. That payment is $3,600, which is also not too bad. There are 5 trims of the K4, but honestly, the only one that matters, at least to me, is the GT line Turbo. It starts at $28,000, still well under that average new car price of $50,000. And it also comes paired with a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. With a turbo, of course. Did I mention it had a turbo? It has a turbo. This car also comes with a premium Harman Kardon sound system. And I know the older cars that have this sound system, they sound terrible. But lately, at least this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the sound for these are actually pretty good now. I have yet to review a Kia with this sound system, but I definitely would like to review one just to kind of test it out. Another thing I have here is they have this Syntex, that's what it's called. It's like their take on synthetic leather. So synthetic texture, I guess that's what it stands for. But it's Kia's take on synthetic leather. And if you didn't know this, Kia's older cars, the quality just wasn't really that good. But I know quality has gotten much, much better in their cars. So I'm curious to find out how this synthetic leather stacks up to something like leather found in a Tesla or a Lexus. And who knows, maybe I might get my hands on a Kia. And if you are from a Kia dealership in the Dallas area, definitely let me know in the comments and contact me through my email. Let's talk. The last thing is it gets 36 miles on the highway. I didn't see city numbers. It was just like so random. It was just 36 highway. So not too sure, but at the same time, I'm not worried about their city mileage just because the highway is pretty good. So if I had to take a wild guess, maybe like 30, 31, 32, something like that. And I mentioned that was the last thing. So the last thing is around just the tariff situation with this car specifically. The reason why I added it on this list is twofold. The first reason is obviously the price. It's very affordable and it lowers the barrier to entry to people who are looking for affordable options out of a brand new car. The second thing is, I want to say I saw an article somewhere. If I find it, I'll link it in the description so you can read it yourself. But it was said that the COO actually came out and said, we're not raising prices right away because it's not a priority for them. They actually want to maintain their market share. So they know they have a very good product at a very good price. And I guess you could say maybe they're willing to form somewhat of a concession with the consumer. So if they are going to raise prices, I don't think it's going to be like very, very drastic. I mean, it's going to be 25% anyway, but I'm sure they're going to trickle in some incentives and stuff like that to get people coming in and out of the door, as they are today with all their cars, just because Kia is a very, very hot topic and a very, very hot brand right now. Two other notes I have here is obviously dealers will take advantage of this situation just like they did during the pandemic, with just like how crazy the car market was. And honestly, they'll do anything to make a buck. So you really have to do your due diligence with all these promotions and stuff. Really, really look at the terms and look at the conditions and just take time ultimately to just look through this stuff before making a decision on purchasing a car. Doesn't have to be any car from this list, obviously, but just in general, just make sure you have a cautious eye, especially when browsing dealer lots, and also just practice your due diligence. The second thing is, let's just talk about tariff-proof cars. I actually coined this from an article that I found, and I'll link it in the description below. And essentially what this dealer did was they imported their entire lot of cars before the tariff situation unfolded. So they're advertising their cars as tariff-proof because technically they don't have to charge you extra for the tariffs. So that being like the extra 25%. However, I have a suspicion that this particular dealer, they might have some other ways they can make extra money. And like I said, I mean, I honestly don't really trust dealers that much. And ultimately, it's a business and they will do anything to make extra money. So again, just do your own research and just make sure you're getting the best deal. So with that, that is the end of the video. My camera is about to overheat, so I gotta make this quick, and my battery is also about to die. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Like I said in the beginning, I make car reviews every month and I make videos like this every month. So if you want to see more of that stuff, definitely let me know in the comment section, and also consider subscribing. Don't forget to leave a like on the video as well. This has been John with Blackbird Productions, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.